so I thought you were probably with your best friend.
She's fine.
You signed that paperwork I sent over?
That's what you're worried about?
Listen, I've decided that I'm going to stay in the city when I get back, okay? This way you can have the house and outline yourself.
I don't want the house.
I just want to make it easier for you, that's all.
No, you're trying to placate me. No, please, can I just have some time? We'll talk in a couple days, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Have a good flight. Hi, I looked at her. Oh, sorry, can you hear me? 1 second. Is that better? Great. I need to order for delivery. Yes, a large Cobb salad. And what's your soup today? Made of basil. Sure. I'll take one of those too. Heather Cochran. Heather Cochran. 40 Pine Canyon. About an hour? Great. Thanks. I'll leave the gate open. Hi.
Order for Cochran.
Oh, it was supposed to be a soup. Yeah, see? Soup and salad.
I just picked up the bags to drop them off.
I paid for it.
Look, if you got a problem with the order, you gotta call the main number.
Right. Thanks.
Yeah, have a good one.
Three-bedroom oceanfront. Yes, please. Seriously? A rabbit? Yeah, you did. Funny. Thanks. Bye.
Why are you going that way?
Now clean this next.
I'm gonna put this in the trash real quick, okay? How was your day? This is a crazy road, Joe. You would be here. Other than that, you said yeah. You said it's nice. Well, it's look. You have so many things to still be grateful for. I don't. Yeah, and I'm going to for I caught a lift down here and can't even go to the darn store. But they send them. What's in their personality, so they're pretty consistent. Bryson come in and I'm on, what's this? Half is evil, as they. I just see all their friends this morning and come out here and look at them retarded faggots at this. Lord, forgive me. Please help me, Jesus. I need to just stay in the house. I don't need to come out. Because I come out, it's retarded. The boy in the walk with them big old ugly shoes on and the bound candles. Sit your retarded self down. Oh. That's, they playing that song for me. They play.
That's what you're worried about.
Play that out. Come to eat, you know what I'm saying? And then just enjoy time being out the house by myself. You know, I really want to just right. I ain't too crazy. They follow me. Why you going that way? So many. You don't have no time. You going that way? And she's. Your what? Protect. Your what? It's. Do I have to listen to the radio? Why you going that way? How was your day? This is a crazy round, Joe. You'll be here. Although they let me swing you up. You said it's not? Well, it's and look, you have so many things to still be grateful for. I don't. Your what? You don't have no tag back there? Today? Okay, so then, is that why you're having a bad day? Well, that's easy. So you report it to the police, and then you take your police report to the DMV, and I think they might charge you like $20 for a replacement. You did? If they even charge you at all, but they don't charge you the whole fee all over again. Oh, they stole your paper tag. Until the dealership do it. At a car in a minute. My truck went to the impound. But they used to tell me to when you do get a tag to take a razor and slice it up. So if they do try to take it off, it's gonna come off in pieces. And yeah, and when they see that all of the slices in it, they'll know what that means and they're gonna try it. So when you do get it, that'll be if you do that, they won't do it because they'll know when if they try to pull it off, it's gonna come off in pieces, even the decal. So slice up everything, decal and your number, and they won't do it. Well, welcome to Atlanta. This is Scandalousville. Oh, you just done had a time. Okay. You can somebody what you done did? Right here. Okay. What has it got you taking me to? It said dog shit, but that thing said destination gonna be on the right. It's right here. Okay, no problem. Well, I hope you have a good rest of the day and that it gets better. It does sound like you don't have a lot going on, but at least you were able to get something else because some people can't, you know? Oh, child, please, let me get out your car. Child, me and Marty is not seeing eye to eye at this moment. I done had two accidents on Marty in since March with the train, and then I got closed up in the train. As soon as I got out the train accident, I got on the bus, and the bus got hit from the back. Me and Marty is not seeing eye to eye. All right, you have a great day, sir. why that lady got a Whole Foods bag and she drove here? She got a Whole Foods bag and a buggy and a book bag and she drove here. It's weird. I think it's Brandy. Oh, you welcome, girl. I would come on, Ash. I felt that. It's like I'm there. So I said, yo, get your foot up. I just got that foot. They smoked the rest of them. Get your foot up. Now they got my feet up. I said, get your feet in there. Girl, it's like, right? I said, get your one.
Tell me.
Sausage, the butt biscuit, and now it's what it's like. So I had yeah, and I called it one. So I thought I said, the house. Child came out of that fire. They done lost my religion and them stupid, retarded black people. Now, they send them boys up in there every time, saying young boys, and then the boy buying witchcraft candles. All you have to do is pay attention to what the scouts buy. So just in case it's you know what I'm saying, my, you know, phobia from the law harassing me like this, pay attention to what the scouts buy. They're gonna buy witchcraft stuff, something dumb and retarded. Oh, they close, and they put a wheelchair in the front. I'm over it. They slow. Okay. Damn, I do not want to go to Walmart. I think they got that Dollar Tree as the Dollar Tree in Roswell, because they gave that girl a what you call it bag to carry. They gave her a what you call it bag. What do you call it bag? Whole Foods. And I do not shop at the Whole Foods store, but a lot of the white law enforcement that be shopping, they get their food. They don't shop at Kroger. Not at the black Kroger. They shop at white people stores, so they definitely make receipts at Whole Foods. I don't go there. So I left Dollar Tree. I hate going to Dollar Tree, by the way. It's too small, it's too black, and ain't nothing but a bunch of niggas up in there. And when I say niggas, I mean they probably gave that boy $10 to come in there and go shop with his retarded, ugly self with them big old ugly shoes on. And they plastic. I want to trip him up, make a nigga follow his taste. Big old shoes on. That pissed me off. But, what's wrong? Get over it, Crystal. That's not the Lord's way. I bet the Lord say, God, darn it, she can't go 5 minutes. I tried. I really did. I tried. I really did. I tried. Okay, do I want JJ Buffalo Wings or Panda? What did Panda do? Did they do something with my food the other night? No. And JJ Buffalo Wings, they ain't right either. But I caught a lift down here and can't even go to the darn store. Because they send them stupid hoops up and down to chase me all the time. And that girl with that ugly nursing uniform, I wanted to kick her in her back. If Jesus on, ooh, I be wanting to straight fight them. Them ugly ones. I don't care about the ones like that lady in there on her phone with the little chub Mexican turn around. I don't care about that. You know what I'm saying? Do what you do. Stay on your phone. Have your loud conversations so my phone can pick it up. Do that. But don't come around me walking with them stinking diaper pants on that you got on. Bitch, I will kick you in your back. I swear to God, I will beat the shit out of you up in the south. I'll be wanting to kick them. Especially that long booty girl on Judson Avenue. I wanted to drag that hoe. The FBI knew it too. They told her, get away from Chris because she beat the shit out of you. Can't help it. I be losing my religion. I be trying not to. And they still stink, so I'm not going to patronize them. It's not. Whoever they had just walk up in there, just had bathed. None this year. And went in there and just opened their ass up. And that's exactly what it smelled like when you walk in the door. Maybe they fed a homeless man to swap with me. I don't know. And that's what I smell. But it stinks, so I don't want to go in there. So, and I definitely don't want to go to Walmart. I go in Walmart. Shoo! But Walmart don't be as bad. That people don't be as bad. Might need to put on a mask. Might need to hold my breath down a few hours. You know. Might not, you know what I'm saying? But Walmart is pretty consistent. Because agents only gonna do what agents do. What's in their personality. So they pretty consistent. You go in there, might see a t-shirt or two. They gonna have a Walmart wheelchair chasing me on every aisle. They gonna do that. They gonna have a martyr gonna send the handicap van in the front. They gonna do that. And they gonna definitely play around the register. They gonna do that. And they gonna send a couple of young girls to take pictures with me. They gonna do that to make it look like you're working and chasing young girls in Walmart. They gonna do that, but I'm pretty used to it. But I don't like Walmart because they play around with that system junk up in there at Walmart. And I don't like it because I told her, like, you point that phone at me. I know they told you what I said. Because that loss prevention man ain't pointing that phone at me. So they done told him, don't point the phone to her. Because we not responsible if she do fight for real. Because we know that we done aggravated her for years doing that. Pointing their phones at me so they can swap my face for IP addresses. Pointed at me again. And this Walmart system, big as their system is, pointed at me again. Hi, how are you today, ma'am? I'm okay. You look comfortable. Yeah, just got off work. Oh, okay. Really? Oh, okay, okay. Really? You can't work this short? Oh. So is your employment private? No, You just can't wear your uniform off the clock. Okay. All right, I understand. Is this spicy? Do you offer taste tests? No taste? Okay. Let me have what? No, I want the bigger plate. Yeah. I want rice and lo mein, chow mein. Excuse me. I want rice and chow mein, and I want what's this? Plant-based chicken? No, not that. I want broccoli beef, orange chicken, and teriyaki chicken. You said what? Say that one more time. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Where's Florida? 1631. Put that in my notes. 1631. What was that? Honey, Marta comes with me everywhere I go. I done came all the way down here in the doggone left and can't even go to the store that I want to go to. Because they send them doggone faggots up in there. Them big old shoes on. Oh, Jesus, forgive me. Lord, I need some work. I need more prayer. I need to fast for the rest of the year. I just did all that praying this morning and come out here and look at them retarded faggots and just, Lord, forgive me. Please help me, Jesus. I need to just stay in the house. I don't need to come out. Because I come out and just, it's retarded. That boy in there walk with them big old ugly shoes on and that bamboo candles. Sit your retarded self down. Oh. Oh, Jesus. The FBI, they can't say that, but the FBI said the street, because they thought I was as evil, half as evil as they say I am. They wouldn't be trying me like that. You wouldn't. You really thought I was Carrie, you wouldn't be at them. You wouldn't be trying me. You wouldn't. Is that mine, sir? get myself together. And I really do, to be honest with you. I don't even know why it bothered me like that, because I had way more control of this in California. Way more. They used to do the most in California. I'm talking about them. And they was white, because there ain't that many black people in Rancho Cucamonga that with no cars to be out shopping. So they was white. And I used to just happily, hello, how y'all doing? Good, I would buy that. Yeah, that's a good buy. Yeah, I would buy that. I'll probably get more of those, though. I wouldn't get that. But you on the right, but that's about what I would do. But down here in Atlanta, I guess because it's niggas. And it's the difference in black people and niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like, black people that they doing too much. You don't supposed to be doing too much. Just go in there and shop. You know what I'm saying? She gonna know who you is when you go in there. Just go shop and get what they told you to buy and use the card or your phone and come on out the store. She's in there standing, making eye contact with me, you know, trying to, doing too much. They must got amateurs out. You know what I'm saying? Go in there and aggravate her to see what she gonna say. Because they be doing that too. You know what I'm saying? Go in there and aggravate her. So to make her feel some kind of way. And then walk off or stay. But him up there with them ugly big old shoes on, you should have got one of them law enforcement to buy your ass some damn Jordans while you trying to follow me with them plastic shoes on. Sick of y'all. Tell them to buy you some Jordans the next time. And get some rent paid, because I know you ain't got no damn daddy with your ugly self and your nappy ass head. Oh, this was so good. Oh, I would eat all of that at one night. Oh, this was so good. Oh, this was so amazing. They be definitely everywhere set up in tow, ready to swipe. Man, can I ask you a question? How much is the pints in that machine over? I mean, that cool over there. It can't be. Not for these. $1.79. That can't be. Oh, you said 9. Okay, that would be about right. That's how much it is. And are any of them? Okay. I can't do that because they playing that song for me. They play that all the time. I ain't too crazy. They follow me. Can I get a oh, that banana split is so good. Can I get a okay, how much is the one right there, ma'am? I don't see it on the screen. The little small one right here. Okay. Can I have that, please, with some is this all you have? I'm looking for the one like it's like chocolate with brownies like in it. No, you don't have it. Oh, that one looks good. I'll tell you what, just give me the cookies and cream, please. this thing is picking me up from the right place. It should have determined where I was. Let me see. I just put my address. No, I didn't pay attention that day. I seen the donuts, but I didn't pay attention that they was called Dunkin'. If I did, I wouldn't have came in here. Because the law loves donuts. Cliche. Police like donuts? Yes, they do. Especially on Roswell Road. Them white people be tearing them donuts and them lattes up. And the girl with that long, ugly booty that got the bus again, 1631. Ma'am, you on live. How you pass that girl twice in a bus? How many people on that bus? One scout, two scouts on that bus. Ma'am, how you pass that girl 2 times? Where was you going and what you was doing that you passed that girl twice? Number 1631. Come here in the office. Let's talk about it. Because they ain't really doing no routes. And making receipts of phones. That bus was just right there. Where the hell you went and came back up this same side, number 1631, and you was just right there? How you got right there, ma'am? Told you, y'all, Marta follow me everywhere I go. Everywhere. Everywhere. Hi. Are you my left? Oh, okay. She just smiling at the CBW 7075. Let me see if I seen that type of CBW. Probably with somebody else left earlier today. She came to take pictures. I don't got nothing about them people calling me crazy. They know it's true. If anybody was to hear the plot, they'll say, oh, she's definitely not crazy. They did that. They did that. That's too smart. That's not crazy. She didn't say like blue elephants. You said somebody was shopping next to you and swapping cards in the payment method. Yes, and living around me as if what they had was mine. Pulling up in the yard, parking, just like they did in Kentucky. For that brand new F-150 up there with the paper tag on the back. And I put the recorder on it, and they sent a white man to move it. Ooh, my Lexus from 2015 look like, maybe. I never had an Acura, but they got that in the driveway. SBZ 0706. Definitely, if they got old cars like that around, then yeah, we might be gonna change time years. You can tell what year they doing by the immediate cars that's around. In the immediate area. Not all over the road, right around you. If they like that Toyota Camry out there, that old Navigator, that old little truck, all of those are in the run. That little Toyota truck, Tacoma, that Navigator is, they got a Charger, they got a dump truck. Oh, they in a line. They got a Dodge Ram, they with the 196 1708. That means they still traveling with buses in Marvin. The swap Wi-Fi say, oh, and they got all Lexus too. They in a line today. They in a group. They got a Honda. How you doing, sir? They said the lady's gonna speak here. Why would you be sitting over here and ducking over there? Are you my left driver? Excuse me? I'll bet Duncan, man, waiting on you. Why are you over here? Trying to make me come where that lady was with her car. Oh, stupid, retarded, ugly bitch. Playing them goddamn FBI games. Bitch, I'll snatch that goddamn weave out your head and snatch in the backseat of that motherfucking car. Stinking bitch. You better pick me up where the fuck out there and put my address in at. Look what they got that retarded girl waiting at. And Duncan right here. And I'm standing right there in the front of the store. And look what this dumb retarded bitch at over there with the lady that I just said was with the FBI and just said, "Are you my left?" And she's sitting right there with the windows up, can't see her tag or nothing. Let me put this bitch on blast. Are you my Lyft driver or not? Hello? CXG 1424. This is an old retarded bitch. Stupid ass bitch. They gonna get one of them hoes gonna get snatched. Snatch the hair right out your motherfucking head. Dumb retarded spanking bitch. Setting up your own goddamn kind of retarded hoe. Fucking Steven Nisha. Why the fuck y'all playing games, man? Do I look like I got time to play games with y'all today? That's the first Lyft driver that came. That bitch came and sat right there, and I'm standing right there. My sign say Duncan. It don't say pick me up from right there. That retarded bitch is just sitting there. I've been out here waiting in the fucking sun. I pay y'all. Y'all ain't coming to get me for free. I don't give a damn what you fucking speak. Sick of y'all and y'all motherfucking goddamn games. Your ass is on fucking live and you're gonna get a nasty ass fucking review.
These photos came so much alive. A tragic, but completely understandable accident. Oh, and I made sure to come in through the back gate, so if anyone checks those cameras, I was never here. Hunter. Goodbye, Robin. My husband, he's not breathing. I came home and I found him lying on the floor.
Okay, I'm sending paramedics to your location immediately. Do you have any idea what might have happened?
I don't know. There's a bottle here. He might have taken the wrong medication. Oh my God, please, please hurry.
গ্লেশিয়ারও গলে যেতে শুরু করে, ফলে পৃথিবী তার তাপমাত্রা কমানোর জন্য পানির লেভেল বাড়াতে শুরু করে।
We met back in March. At a bar I used to go to in college. Robert could be so controlling. And then along comes this easygoing musician. So I can't have care for the world. As long as he had a place to sleep and his guitar. He was the happiest person on the planet. I don't know. Maybe I was frustrated. Maybe I was drunk. I don't know. Six arrests. Disorderly intoxication, disorderly conduct, aggravated battery. A bar fight downtown a couple years ago. Yeah, he told me all about it.
He did 6 months in county.
But he was getting himself together. He got sober. Just to be able to sober.
So today is August August the 19th, 2024. And I have been writing since I'm for today, but I am just kind of in my zone where I am right now. I'm going to get up in a few minutes and get myself together. But I am writing and I am recording myself in different places. There's my camera, there's my laptop, and then I'm recording right here. And if my phone is on, I'm going to be recording there too. I have a question today that I just want to ask, and it's a rhetorical question, but I just wanted to go back to the source of trauma that gives me the most grief. And it is when I was released from prison in 2008. I was released from the Arendelle State Prison in Georgia, and my number was 124-1928. And the GDC picture that you see with the Mexican hair, that's not the real picture of me. That was done over again. I had a nappy short afro when I went to prison. It wasn't short, but it was bogged down because I washed it. So I want to ask a question today, and like I said, it's rhetorical. I want to just ask the question. When my son was 12 years old, I was released from Arendelle State Prison because my son, Corian Jackson, was incarcerated for the murder of Willie Cowens, an older man in Augusta, Georgia, who died by a gunshot, allegedly. My question is, law enforcement went to apprehend my son. Now that I think about that, I wonder who called them. How did they know to get Corey? But they came to my mom's house at 1728 Telfair Street, Augusta, Georgia, on the morning of March the 20th, 2008. And they apprehended Corey for murder of Willie Cowens. And my son was, or was it Mr. Cowens? Willie Casey was the guy that died. Too many Willies. I'm sure some foolishness going on with that. But anyway, he was arrested for murder at the age of 12. Now, here's my rhetorical question. They took my son from my mother's house who had had a stroke, number one. They took advantage and manipulated that. They took him, all white officers, took my son to Richmond County Sheriff's Department, an adult jail, and moved him in for murder without a parent and without a lawyer. Never gave him his rights of either. And the law stole that CD from me in 2012 that I had of Corey in the interrogation room with these white agents questioning a 12-year-old, violating his rights to have an attorney and to even have a guardian. So you have these agents that are white, more than one, in a room with a black boy at 12 years old and then come out of the room and say, we got him for murder with no weapon, no fingerprints, no ballistics, no physical evidence to tie him to that murder. Only Terry Ray, who convinced my son before I came home to sign a plea deal and take that deal, of which agents said they would not give him a trial in Augusta, Georgia. So they took that same 12-year-old boy and took him over to the jail, processed him in, and then gave him a trial in one day by someone that was not even a judge. It was a litigation attorney. Tell me from another town. It wasn't even from the town of Augusta. Now, the rhetorical question is, what would you do? Thank you.
We believe in a future where every person has the opportunity not just to get by, but to get ahead. Where every senior can retire with dignity. Where every person has affordable health care and paid family leave. But Donald Trump wants to take our country backward, to give tax breaks to billionaires and big corporations and end the Affordable Care Act. But we are not going back.
School is back, and Dick's Sporting Goods has what you need to win your year. Check backpacks off your list from Nike, The North Face, and more. Plus, score the latest colors from Stanley, Yeti, and Owala. With gear this good, it's never been easier to win your year.
So there's an invoice you didn't pay. That's not like you didn't.
I've got some heavy hitters that are looking to cash out. Some pretty big redemptions, but it's nothing I can't handle. Come on.
Yeah, right, of course.
And we have all night to talk about this, and I don't want you to worry about it.
Thank you. Of course. See you tonight.
Can't wait. Hey. Love you. Hello? Heather? Heather? Hey, babe? Sushi tonight, what do you say? What's the name of that place that flies the fish in fresh every day from Tokyo? Let's do that tonight.
where'd you come from, huh?
Talk. It's some pretty strong stuff they gave me. No, I went back and looked at that little insurance agreement you sent over. The one that was so important for me to sign.
Okay, so
Very educational.
tonight is
It's happened to you now.
August the 19th, 2025, and um, I just came back in from being out, and I definitely need to address my behavior, my language, and I am really holding up my progress, and I'm getting ahead and being, who God has called me to be. I definitely went out today and I did not act like a child of God at all. And I need to address that. I need to ask myself some tough questions and write tonight with the purpose of trying to ask God for wisdom and help and really set some boundaries for myself. Number one, I never typically, I asked myself today, why was I so calm in California, and I was a lot more, hands-on in the situation, but I was not easily offended like I am in Georgia. And I asked myself why. And that's because in California, I didn't give myself the opportunity. I didn't rely on my own strength or think that just because I prayed enough at home, I have enough. I I don't have enough. I can't do anything without God, including go to Dollar Tree and come back. So I used to go out in California and I always had my music on. And I think because when I have went out before and had my music on, it was cut off. They would cut it off. And sometimes they would do it to keep a signal from coming through to my device, just in case someone was shopping. So I was happy about that, but then I was not happy because it took away that serenity that I was trying to build, that safe haven, that space that I was trying to build in my mind, that I can go out and be in the store and don't feel anxious, don't feel like I need to leave, don't feel, you know, agitated. Like when I go out to the store and I'm in the store, they will aggravate me. Even if they are not shopping, they will aggravate me with words, with letters, with um, slogans that are very familiar to me, and they will aggravate me with wheelchairs, with um, roller carts, those things that you get in and you roll around. And Marta does a lot. They go everywhere I go with handicap bands. Everywhere I go, Marta is there with the handicap band. Everywhere I go. If I go out today, if I look for it, it will be there. If I go to Walmart, they go and they park in the front. And they do it. What, my TV cut off. So I don't like to. Hold on, let's see what happened here. So I don't like to um I don't like to go out to the store. Some stores are worse than others, and that depends on the location. Of course, if you're in a ghetto environment, it is going to be worse because the scouts are ghetto, more ratchet. You go to Roswell, they're not going to less than likely be in Dollar Tree in Roswell with a death row t-shirt on and with a pistol 44 or and then driving one of the cars and then you know mean mugging or have some other type of affiliation, which could be uh, any number of things. But understanding, rewinding all of this back to the beginning. Let's start from the beginning. In 2000 and maybe 2020, somewhere in there. Actually, before then. But I'm trying to think, it was the first time that I was by myself and I seen it and I didn't know how to handle it or what to do. I'm trying to think of where I was. I remember the truck and I remember the tag. And I was in Augusta. I was somewhere near. I'm trying to think why wasn't with Ketchup and why was I by myself? And it was before 2020. But I'm trying to think of why I was by myself. And I was near Easter's house. It was in Evans, Georgetown, where Easter lived, and it was a white man, and he was in a truck, and the tag, he blocked me, like he parked catty cornered, and I, I didn't know what it meant, and I just went around, and he let me go around, but I read the back of his tag, and I didn't know what it meant, what, but I clearly it was a message, like a real message, a real word. And so that's when it started. It started at that point. And I never thought about it anymore. And then after that, when I saw another one and then saw another tag, I just got conditioned to them. And then it started to seem like some kind of um, private conversation, like a code, uh, like we had our own language, except the conversation was only one-sided. And so I started to see them. I've seen Warrant, I've seen Freeze, I see a Cop 2, I've seen um Get to Going, I've seen so many words that they didn't just go with the environment. They just wasn't there like you see a tag on the front of a car of your favorite team. They went with the scenario. So it was a tag, you would get a message on your phone, and then you would get a tag, you would get a message, and then you would get um something. If the TV was on, then you would get it on there. And that it would always be three, so that you know that this is official. And then I used to jive and say that you always know when the law is talking to you, because they are just almost just like God. You know when they're talking. You don't ever have to worry and think that you know when they are when they are talking to you. So it started out like that. And then the first time just I was just like shocked. I was shocked. I didn't know what to do. I didn't even know why I got it. I just had got a message and I didn't even know what to do. Just, I don't even know. I don't know. I wasn't scared. I don't know. I think now I was conditioned to the abuse and the misconduct, and it was never reported at that time because I had already been to prison before. And so anytime that you go to prison or get entangled with the law in any type of way, you are conditioned to their abuse, and in a way you feel as if they are entitled because they do carry this authority and they have the authority in the world. So when you get abused by police, it's hard to fight because they all stick together. And so this is why it's just an unspoken, accepted behavior, because they all do it and they are accustomed to it. And if you tell, it will get worse. So I think when I saw it, I just accepted it because I had been to prison before and I still felt in some way incarcerated. And I still felt, because of what happened to Corey, I still felt that I deserved it. I felt deserving of the abuse that I got from them. And so it just went on until it got worse. It went from messages on the tag. It went from, and mind you, I am not doing anything wrong. You know, Ketchup gave me a great life. You know, you know, at this point, I was very happy with Ketchup. He was good looking. He had enough to give me the life that I wanted. He probably wouldn't have met a Kardashian standard, but he met mine. He gave me everything that I wanted. I felt rich. I felt, loved. I had what I wanted, what was enough for my black culture, for me to be successful in my eyes and the eyes of my peers. I felt great. I felt great. I felt terrific. I loved him. Here it is, this nice man. I mean, I didn't even know that he was only 28 when we got married. I mean, when we got together, until like a couple of days into our conversations, because he was so mature, and he had owned a home already, and he had 4 kids, and he had already been married. So who would have been thinking that this is a guy 18 or 19 years old doing this back then? Nobody would think that. So I was thinking that he was older than me. He carried himself so well, and then he had this prominent position in church. So he was great. Ketchup was great. And but he was strict. He was old fashioned and set. And I remember when we first met, I just kept saying, "Get your feet off my neck. God, Lee." You know. But he gave me a wonderful life. I mean, I progressed in every sense of the word. Here it is. I met him. I was living at 505 13th Street downtown. I hated it, but I loved my cute little apartment. And my friend Pam Dean worked in the office. And so I met Ketchup. We got married. I had been celibate for a little while. And I fell hard and in love with him. I loved him. Like, that man was, he was like a dream. I wrote about him. Hold on a second. I gotta pause this so I can turn my thing on. So, I had everything that I wanted. Um, when it came down to Ketchup. We moved. I was at 505 13th Street. We moved from there. We met around April, and we got married in July. We met at April. He texts me. Easter gave him my phone number. Vanna and Tiff invited me to church on January the 6th of 2012. That's a significant date. If you add that up, that's a date. So that was a divine appointment at that day. I went to church, and I was not in a good state at all. And I was smoking weed, and Nico was running away, and I was just like over it. And so my family, Tiff and Vaughn, called me. Vaughn called me with Tiff on the phone, and Tiff said, "Hi," and then Vaughn was like, "Hi, Puss," and I said, "Hi, Puss," and then she said, would you like to go to a church tonight at Robert Turner's church? Um, Jarrell Solomon is going to be there, and he is a major prophet, and he is calling out people's names, and you need to be there. So I said, all right, I'll go. And so Vaughn, I, and Tiff, we all went to church together. I met them there, and we went to church, and we sat together. And that first night, it was on video. I had it. They took it. January the 6th of 2012, I went to church, and Ketchup was there, and he had on this brown long sleeve, nice collared shirt, but it wasn't a button down. It was a kind that the older men wear, with like jeans and nice quarter boots. He had those on, and he looked so good. And he had like his arms were so big, and his stomach. I mean, he looked like Superman. And so he stood up there. And he was singing, "Searched all over, couldn't find nobody," and I was like, "Oh my God!" And so that night, Jarrell Solomon preached about um he preached about um um Elijah and Elisha. And so he preached that night, and he kept saying Elisha, and I just liked how he said the name. And so I had never ever liked anybody in church. And so I prayed that night. I said to myself, I'd already wrote, I had a laptop, a Seuss laptop, and we were doing The Secret. Vanna, Jimmy, and myself, we were friends, BFFs. So we were doing The Secret. So I did mine. Everybody had to write out what they wanted. So I wrote out Ketchup. I described him to the T. And so everything I did, I mean, I said I wanted him young enough to play with my children, to be athletic, to play basketball, to be muscular, to be a little darker than me, to have a low haircut, to be really well built, to be, nice and this, that, and other. I don't want all that drama. I don't want all, he had everything. So he appeared, he manifested. And so I was excited. So like I said, we got married. I met him in that night at church, and I prayed that night and said, God, why can't I have an Elijah in my life? And so we did. And so, because I really had a crush on this guy that I really liked, but he was a bad boy, and so, but the bad boys never wanted they say they want the good girl, but they really don't want the good girl. You know what I'm saying? And so I had a crush on him, but he was a bad guy, and God just didn't have that in my plan. So I got somebody else, and moved on with Ketchup. And so, but I took a break after that. So Ketchup and I get together. Nico is running away. Nico has ran away now about 52 times. And I'm just over him. So he's now went to jail. When I met Ketchup, Nico was in jail. And no, Nico was there, and when he first met Ketchup, he said something very shady, very disrespectful. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, as if I was with somebody else. I think he said, "Is this the dude that you was telling me? Or is this the guy? What's your name again?" Like, it was like he was very, very shady. So, long story short, Nico went to GJJ, and then Ketchup and I got married. So, this was January when we met, and then April when we got married. And then when we got married, we stayed in at 505 13th Street for a while. And then we went on and moved to 801 Chicopee Road, apartment 105 in Columbia, South Carolina. So he took me from that 2-bedroom apartment to now we're in a 3-bedroom apartment. So I am very happy about that. So we're now in a 3-bedroom. It's bigger. I have a lot more room. I have a kitchen, a den. A kitchen, a dining room, and a little den. I'm grateful. It's nice. Our room is big. It's much nicer. I got carpet. I like it. I love the area where he has me at. On Creekside. I'm very happy. So we go from there to after we go from there, we go to from Creekside. We go from there. We go to 121 Woodspur Road in Irmo. So we went from a 2-bedroom to a 3-bedroom. Now we're in a 3-level house at 121 Woodspur Road in Irmo. So we're graduating. And then as I'm moving up in my house, in my housing, I'm moving up in my car too. So I went from driving a 2004 Taurus to driving a 2006 was a 2006 Lexus. Then I went from the Lexus to driving a 2010 Lexus. And then from driving the 2010 Lexus, I went to driving the Land Rover. And so once I was driving the Land Rover, then I went to driving the 2017 Dodge Ram, and then went to driving the 2016 Chevy Impala. So he was taking me up at each time. So we moved from 121 Whisper Road to 2182 Walker Solomon. And then that was a brand new house. It was like a year old. And it was 3 bedrooms. It was upstairs and downstairs. And it was just him and I in Harvard. It was Harvard there? No, I hadn't. I don't think I had got Harvard yet. Not yet. So we lived there. It was just him and I, just me and him. And we lived there, and I loved everything about it. I just didn't like the location all that well, but the house was perfect. I loved it. Enjoyed the entire time there. It was brand new all the way through. So he took me from there to now we're going to 242 Quiet Grove Drive, and that was I have arrived. And if I had have known TD Jakes' message, because TD Jakes has always been a part of my life, and I've been listening to him for years, but I didn't hear this message that he did until after it was too late, when he said, you don't, success and your arrival don't look like what you think. Like you think when you get all of this that you're going to feel like you've arrived. You don't feel like that. You feel like you need to do something else. So you feel like in looking back at my life on Quiet Grove Drive, I think I want to catch up and say, thank you. Like, I don't care what went on. I don't care what went on. I still want to say thank you because he took me on multiple vacations there, staycations, just to do something. I went to Folly Beach. I went to Myrtle Beach multiple times. Every time I did good in school, he got me a new bag. I did. I had always drove really nice. And our house was not in a cheap neighborhood. The houses started in the beginning part of the neighborhood. They started at around 250, and then towards the back they were 6, 7, maybe more, because they were custom built. So the in the back they're 3,000, 4,000 square foot homes, and they're custom built as you go. So we lived in a neighborhood that was, people were buying the lots and building as they went. So we didn't live in a cheap neighborhood. And in Lexington, the people are predominantly white. So we lived on our street. A black lady moved across from us towards the end, but we were the only, well, and Marie was the only ones in that area. Everybody else was white. So looking back at that time, I had arrived and didn't know it. I had arrived and did not know it. Did not know how blessed I was because of what was going on. What was going on in the relationship at that time, to like where it was as far as the material things that I had, as far as reaching our goals, as far as really being happy. But I think in the inside, I was still carrying those tags. I was still not free in the inside, and I never felt free. And I think somewhere psychologically, I said, because this happened to Corey, I won't get a chance to live my life until he gets out and I pay him back. And then I will get a chance to have life. And that was how I had settled it, that until I could get him situated and happy, I would just be his slave, so to speak. I would just let him run over me and do whatever he wanted to do, and I would let him talk to me any kind of way. I would put up with everything he did because I deserved it. And so subconsciously, that's what happened, and that's what I did. So, but by the time we had moved to Quiet Grove, Corey had already gotten out, and but it was not the best time because I had just got diagnosed with sarcoidosis. So the timing and all of that medication that racist chipmunk had me on had my nerves up and down. I gained 30 some pounds in 2 weeks. And when I went out to pay a bill, when I walked in the store, the lady said, "Oh my God." She could not believe it. Like, she couldn't even hold back the reaction. And if they were to pull her today, she would say, "That is true." I said that when I looked at her because of the weight gain, how I looked, and everything that was going on. But they all knew me to be happy-go-lucky, very privileged, catch up, buys her whatever she wants type thing. And she is spoiled and she don't work, and her husband is just, he do whatever, and they live nice and she drive nice and everything. She pretty and he pretty. And so everybody saw us like that. Even in my family, everybody saw us like that. Christy, catch up, do whatever for Chris, and she's spoiled and he is too, and she pretty, and they are a pretty couple together. He's light, I'm dark. I mean, I'm light, he's dark. You know, he's very handsome, and built. I was nice looking. They a pretty couple. You know what I'm saying? So I used to hate that I could not have children, even though I didn't want any more. But I felt that Ketchup was so handsome and I was pretty. I just, I dreamed. I wanted it so bad. I actually dreamed about a little girl and what she might look like. And she was gorgeous. And I woke up one morning and told him about it. So, long story short, uh, we are advancing in our relationship, and I am very happy about it. And I am, I'm looking forward to it. We have struggles, but I'm never seeing him and I getting a divorce. Even though we said and we went through a lot of stuff, I still never saw myself being without him. He was perfect to me, like perfect. Like I don't know of a better man that I would get. Even though he had some issues, I was married. I don't want to get a divorce from him. I'm going to make it work because the way he looks in that Land Rover when he get in and his like it wasn't just about looks. It was about him having that quality that I have, that whatever we say, we get it done. And he is the only guy that I've met that had that quality that I had. He was just like me. And so that was what I was most attractive uh, to him about. It was that inner drive that he had, that go getter personality, you know. Um, and so I used to love it. And he would say that he was going to do this and it would happen. So we are at this place. We have a the Quiet Grove was very nice and very nicely decorated. I went to, you know, I'm getting my stuff from rich people's houses because they are putting stuff on Craigslist. And so I'm constantly rotating and changing out my stuff, especially if it came from somebody rich. I definitely want the name brand stuff in my house. So I had, Thomasville, I've had, Bassett, I've had Wit Ash, I've had uh uh what you call it, the mattresses. I had probably a $15,000, I think it was over that, Downs mattress on my bed. Never even heard of it. Got it from a rich person. So I would, if I seen that they had something better than mine or cost better than mine, that's going in my house and I'm going to sell mine. So I was always doing that. So when it came down to furniture, I would always say, you ain't buying nothing that ain't never been in my house because I had it first because it was nice enough for me to get. I'm always shopping for myself. Until Ketchup told me one time, I'm not changing the bed anymore because we got this bed from this man that owned a major security company. And the man was very rich. And he wasn't very rich, but he had money. And so the man sold us this bed that looked like something that would be on a movie. And the bed took 4 guys just to do the headboard. This is not even with the poles. This is just the middle part of the bed took 4 men coming up those stairs. So Ketchup said, I'm not moving nothing else. That's it. And that wasn't true because we got in that bed that night and it was a queen. And I said, this is not going to work. And he said, you're right, it ain't. And so the bed was bad and I loved it, but I'm used to my king, and Harvard got to be in here sometimes, and me and you, and this ain't going to work. So he said, all right, what we going to do? We get another one. So, but that wasn't hard to do because I had all my rooms are decorated. So I'll just swap one out, take the king from there and bring it in here. And then what we'll do is I'll find me another one just as nice because I gotta have one. So it took me a while to sell that bed, but I ended up selling it. So, and now that I know how to, I struggled so bad because that man had messed up that interior, and it took me the longest to figure out how to do it. And now I don't know why it never dawned on me to pop that insert out of that bed. I could have got so much money for that bed, but it never dawned on me to do that because I was just so busy at that time. And it never dawned on me to really do that. And plus, catch up and them put that bed up, and they wasn't gonna move it for me to do that anyway. So that's probably why it never dawned on me to look into the back of the bed. But any bed that you get, if this was a bed and it had upholstery right here, that's only an insert. And if you go to the back of that bed, it will be screws. And you pop that insert out and you just wrap it back in fabric and pop it back in. I got that bed, not that bed, but I got the bed before we left South Carolina in June of 2018, or maybe a little bit before that. I got a bed from uh the other side of Columbia. I'm trying to think of what they call the other side of Columbia. It's where the black people live. But the well-to-do black people, they're not poor. Trying to think of what they call it. But I went over there and got it, and they had money. They were military. The house was brand new. They had money, and the bed cost like at least $4,000. At least. It was the king canopy bed with the big iron thing in the middle. It was that. I always wanted that bed. Matter of fact, it's a picture of me in a furniture store on the bed. I always wanted that bed. That lady had that bed on Craigslist for $100. Me and Ketchup flew out there. And her son had took a knife or something and had picked the middle of it, and she said, I don't want it anymore, and you can have the dresser too. If you give me another 75 or 100, you could take the whole bedroom set. Child, I thought I had no one. It took us 2 trips to get that. That's how big that bed was. Honey, I was happy as a faggot in prison. We got that furniture. I got the bed. I was excited. I was happy. We brought it home and then lived happily ever after until we moved. And I hated to get rid of that bed because Ketchup said we was not going to go to North Carolina and come back. We were making one trip. So that meant that I had to give up my dream bed and that mattress that was 36 inches thick, like this. And so I didn't have a choice. In that kind of stuff, Ketchup got his word was that's final. So he wore the pants in the house, contrary to what people want to say. Ketchup only let me go as far as that leash was gonna go. When he got tired or didn't want to do something, Ketchup ain't gonna do it. Ketchup is not weak, and he ain't no punk, and he ain't no pushover. You ain't gonna do nothing with Ketchup that Ketchup don't want to do. That's a fact. I don't care who you are. Ketchup not even talking out his own mouth. God can't even make Ketchup do something if he don't want to do it. And that's what Ketchup taught me out his own mouth. So, so we went and we had this, so I'm still carrying this process because this abuse is going on at this time, and it's getting worse. So this is where this is why I couldn't relax, why I was having trouble with being, I was thriving. I don't get me wrong. South Carolina, I went through hell. My marriage was going through hell. But when it came down to my finances, Ketchup and I made some wonderful money over there, enough to sustain our household. Um, to pull up outside and you see a Land Rover, a Lexus, the truck, and the Impala in the yard, the nice car. She got a poodle. You know, it was great. The problem came in with the tax, the abuse, me feeling like I am over here in South Carolina, and if I do a whole lot over here as far as with with being successful and having money and all this, then what are they gonna think? Are they gonna think? I mean, I actually sat down and told Ketchup I don't want to sell furniture no more, and he said why? And I said because there has to be something wrong with this. And then he said, why do you think that? And I said, because why ain't nobody else just as smart as me, Ketchup? And then he was like, are you serious? And I said, I don't understand how I just went to Goodwill and paid $30 for this and I sold it for $800. Don't that make me a bad person? And he said, no, that makes you a genius. Doesn't make you a bad person. And I said, well, why wouldn't somebody else go to Goodwill and get it for $30 then and sell it for 800? I don't know. They were making me feel like a crook. And I think they were making me feel like that because my family was not, at first, they were all happy. And when they finally came to my house to see it in South Carolina, they was like, oh, Chrissy got it going on. You know what I'm saying? Look at Chrissy, and then it went from, when I had got a store. Uh, the guy had gave me 3 buildings rent free, 5,000 square feet each building to do as I pleased. And I don't have no competition on Two Notch Road. There's only one black competitor. The rest of my competitors are white. Because this was primarily white people thing in South Carolina. White people are the ones that do the thrifting over there. They got it hands down. It's their world. So here it is, this black girl comes along and I'm young and I got pretty stuff and it's selling. And it's selling because the competitors are coming to see, because I'm not selling it like them. They done been in it too long. They go in there, that's their family shop. They done inherited from their granddaddy. They going in there selling it and they sitting up in there all day long and waiting. I don't have time for that. I done spent my money on this. I want my money back. This is in my garage. I ain't got no store. And I done spent my money on it and I want my money back right now. So I'm not gonna buy nothing that ain't going nowhere. And I know what people want and I know I know how to appeal to my audience. I knew what my audience was, where my customer base was. And so I knew that anything that you do in a black finish or mocha and you put a nice comforter set on it, you could get any woman, I don't care how much money she got. Once you get her to say, ooh, that's so, that's it. Wow them. So I knew that was it. My mama was an interior decorator. So I had the cutting edge on furniture. I took my furniture, I decorated it, I staged it, I took wonderful pictures. The pictures is what's going to get you to sell. But when I'm out in the public, I would put my stuff out on the curb, and I was pretty and my husband is pretty. And when the women stop, you talk to them. When the men stop, I got them. But we gonna get them. And then if you can't get them, throw them back this way and I will. And every time, if you stop, you ain't leaving. Cause you stop for a reason. It's pretty stuff out here. And so they would say, this is so nice. And you got it for this, because I only paid $40-$50 for it from Goodwill, but it didn't look like this at Goodwill. See, that's the thing that Ketchup was telling me. Yes, baby, you bought it from Goodwill, but when it came into Goodwill, it had one leg, it had holes in it, it didn't have a cushion. You did this, baby. Goodwill didn't have this. You did this. Goodwill had junk. That's why you got it for $30. You saw the potential in it. They might have a dresser in there. I go and look. They have a dresser in there, and it ain't got no knobs on it. It might be missing a leg. It need to be refinished. I can look at that and see $250 in that. Nobody else can't see that, so it sits there. They might say, "Oh, we'll let you have it for $10 because we done had it for 3 months." Oh, I see it. It's good wood. It's good wood, but ain't no knobs to it, and the top all messed up, and ain't no legs. I know where the legs are. I know that Lowe's sell those draw pulls for $1. You could even make draw pulls. I've made draw pulls before from thread bobbins. So I knew what would sell and what wouldn't, and what took money. And so Ketchup was saying, you people are buying into that. They not buying what Goodwill had, baby. They buying what you did, how you took it and you painted it and you stained it and you put draw pulls and you put legs on it. So Goodwill ain't got nothing to do with that no more. But I still felt like they were like they were making me a crook, because you're too successful. And then I started wondering, well, why don't nobody else go to Goodwill? Then I started seeing them. So then I called an attorney. I still was feeling some kind of way, because South Carolina had me scared to death with in terms of being over there fooling with them crazy white people in South Carolina. They had me scared to death. So I was not trying to be doing nothing wrong and nothing illegal over there in South Carolina. I never wanted to actually go back to South Carolina ever after 2008. But we got married, and that's the first place where Ketchup wanted to go. So I went reluctantly. And it just so happened that 801 Chickapin Road was on Broad River Road, which was down the street from the feds and right there at Broad River prison, which was where you come in first when you're sick of them. You come in first at the you go in. Why? I don't see that. You go through the men's prison first to get processed, and then they send you out. Weird. So you go to Broad River Road, and then you get processed, and then you go wherever they're going to put you. But the point of the matter is, after 2008, I didn't want to go back there anymore. So I'm there, and I'm very successful, but I'm afraid. And I'm afraid because I am too successful here, and they are racist, and they're not forgiving. So the very first thing that they're going to say is, because when I first got over there, I was still on probation, and I had Miss Nasty Rice. I will never forget it. I used to leave there and I would be crying. And I went there in my Lexus, and I called Ketchup, and he was at work, and I was crying, and he said, "What's wrong?" And I said, "The lady told me I can't write no book." And I said, "You told me to write a book," and that lady said I can't write no book. And he said, "What?" And I said, "She said, who you think you are? You can't write no book, and you ain't changed." And so I was like, and I cried. And Ketchup said, "You don't let her tell you." He had such a, "You don't let them tell you who you are. You a child of God. You do this and that. That's just an evil spirit, blah, blah, blah." And so I said, "Okay." And so I cried, and God delivered me from her. I'm trying to think of what happened. I think, oh, I wrote the court. That's what it was. I wrote the court. And I wrote the court and asked for the restitution to be suspended and moved because there was um, no, um, there was no, what do you call those people? There was no victims. And so the judge said, "Well, we're going to send out a letter, and if it comes back, then we did." So the companies came back and said, "We're not interested. We don't want nothing because they gone out of business and we doing this now. We not interested. We don't want nothing from her. She's good." So the judge said, "Well, if they not, I'm not." So I was free. So what got me free from Miss Demonized Rice was, um I think I just completed it, or the judge terminated it, one of the two. But either way, it was done. So after that, if that lady was so evil and mean, she is not fit to be in that field. That's not a good field for her. Um, so I moved on, and then I started. That's when I started to. So we get to 801 Chicopee Road, and Ketchup tells me that I let you quit your job so that you can focus on who God told you to be. That's what you need to be doing. That's why you in the house all day. So I wanted to follow my husband. So I started the praise report. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. If I was to do the praise report in Atlanta, honey, and Easter did my jingle, and it said, "The praise report goes better with coffee," and it was like so cute. It was so cute. And I think maybe that's where the squirrels came from. I don't know, because that was the first time, believe it or not, that I saw the squirrels. I don't know why, because that was not my slogan. But now that I'm thinking about it, that was the first time that I saw the squirrels when I did the praise report. So I did the praise report, and this is big. This is another big idea. This is big. Everybody like it. You got a newspaper with nothing but good stuff. It had good nothing but good news, miracles, recipes, crossword puzzles, inspirational stories, your artist of the month, your feature of the month, and you still got your ads. So here's the law. They started bothering with the praise report. And so the same white man from 2018 went to Food Lion when he saw me coming, and I had paid to get those papers printed, and nobody else would print them when you're not at least 50,000 in circulation. They won't do newspaper print. But I got these printed out of Chicago, and that's where that state came from into the works. They tried to contaminate it, but it wasn't. It was just I never went there. It was strictly over the phone and through email. They printed them and sent them to me and put me on a net 90, I think. So I'm doing the praise report, and everybody loves this. Everybody is saying this is such a good idea. And again, there were those tags. The tags were still going. The more I got to be successful, the more tags I saw. The more I did good, the more tags I saw. The more money that I was exposed to, the more tags I saw. So the white man that I call Curious George, he took all of my papers and put them in the trash just before I walked in. So everything that I had was in the garbage. And it hurt my feelings so bad. I cried. And I called, catch up. It was, as usual, my sounding board. And I said, someone put all my papers in the trash. And so he was like, baby, just get them out of the trash. And it's okay. You got to expect for the devil to do stuff to aggravate you when you're doing stuff good. And he would just constantly keep pushing me out there for that white man to chop my, you know, hit me in the back of my neck whenever he got a chance. It just was never, Ketchup kept pushing me out to win, and the white man kept slapping my hand every time I reached for the bananas. And so I couldn't stand that white man, and today I asked God to forgive him, and I don't want to have anything in my heart. But he came again. It's not his first time. He was a stalker. He came again in 2018. He came to the furniture store. Same yellow shirt. I think he don't change. He has all that money and to wear the same hunting uniform. That's why I call him Curious George. He wears a yellow shirt, cotton, tucked in, and he got a big belly, and he walked with his hands behind his back, and he don't look at you in your face at all because you're a nigger. And he looks down and he just asks you questions as if somebody done told him that he got a right for a goddamn answer. But somewhere in me felt that he's white, he's superior to you, so you have to answer him, because somewhere in my mind, I was still in bondage. I never got out of prison in my mind, and I never got free in my heart. So when I recognized the abuse, I just succumbed to it. It was I never got free. I never got over the trauma, because when I got out of prison, they had me going so fast. None of the trauma ever registered. I got out in 08. Mommy died in 10. Um, uh, um, what is his name? Mommy died in 10. Uh, what's his name? Diva died in 11. Diddy died in 12. Corey was gone. Everything happened. I didn't have any time to register any trauma. It was, you just gotta keep going. And so the only good time I had when I came home is when I got the job at the Green Zone, Washington. And I was doing so well there that that was as equal to a trauma, just on the other side, because now I'm making all of this money, but I still can't help my son. So I don't really want to really live this wonderful life, because I'm not getting to live it with my son, and I can't get him out either. So I don't really get to I still don't really get to enjoy life. So in the process of this, that white man with that big stomach came back, and he always walks with his hands behind his back. And he's tall, and he has blonde hair, and he holds his hands behind his back, and he holds them together, and he said, where'd you get fur from? He never introduces himself. He never says hello. He just walks up and start asking questions. Yeah, where you get your furniture from? How many papers you got in circulation? You know you're supposed to have, and then he quotes all of the laws to you as if you want to hear them, or as if you're writing them down, or as if you're going to get tested later, or as if you're breaking a law because he's reading you a sanction or an order. And he used to do it, and he was there again in 2018 twice. So he comes to the furniture store, and I see him, and I get like, just, I'm not afraid. I just never feel like I had the right to just ignore his ass. Like, I was afraid to ignore him, like to walk off, or just, I was afraid to be Crystal and say, don't ask me no questions, because I did not know what he was capable of doing. And somebody might say, well, you must have been doing something. No, it was not that. It was strictly because when I went to prison in '04, it was so traumatizing that I never got over it. I never got over all those doors slamming, and then the stuff that people would say and how they treated people, and the inhumane way of living. I never got over it. Like, some people can just keep doing it. I wasn't one of them. I'm not going to do this anymore. This is a wrap. And so, and that was what I said when I went to parole. No one else, by the way, in South Carolina made parole with me that day, but me and I think a guy. Alert. Ding, 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 ding. I made it. So I said, when I went before the parole board, they said, because everybody has said nobody makes parole in South Carolina. South Carolina don't let nobody out. So I went and I said, well, they ain't let nobody. They're going to let me out today. So they said, well, man, why should we let you out? What have you done? Blah, blah, blah. And I said, honey, because y'all, I said, this is not my life. And I have had so much time to consider my ways and my time. This is not my life. And I want to regain my independence so I can make a significant contribution to society. Because this is not it. This is not the way. And God has plans for my life. I went in there, and the Holy Spirit spoke to me, and the people said, parole granted. Quick. They ain't even have to deliberate. Everybody else, they say you go out, they deliberate. Them people said, parole granted, girl, you are out. And then that's when the law said, no, you're not. We just gonna say that and get you to come up here and get dressed. But no, you're not. But we're not gonna talk about that. So moving forward, I went, and I never felt free. I never felt forgiven. I never felt I never felt redeemed. I never felt liberty. I never felt that I never felt that I was, you know, equal to. I used to tell my niece all the time I felt like a second class citizen. I didn't feel like I had the rights to everybody, like everybody else, to live and be happy and be peaceful and have all these. I didn't feel that way. I felt in bondage, and I felt I felt inferior. That even though I was pretty, even though I had catch up, I felt like I was still holding this dark past over my head, because of my children and because of um, just of what was going on in my life. So I never felt that. So moving forward, I never got out of that. So understanding where that is and how that affects me now, I think that it is a pile up of trauma, of injustices that nobody said I'm sorry for. That when I go out today and I look at the world and I say, this is really like slavery. No, you might not get hung on the tree. No, you might not get beat in a field. But it's other things you can do that's just as bad, that will leave just as much of a lasting scar as getting lynched. And taking somebody's kid at 12 years old when they can't do nothing about it and doing it because we're white and we can. Shut up before we blow your head off. That 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 you're up against a unified colorized system. You don't have to see white people got something that black people don't have. They got unity. You don't have to go to nobody on no board and they be white. You can go to individual white people and they will know what the system is and they don't have to say nothing and they gonna stick together. You can go to a private, you go to a board, you go to a meeting, you go to a room, it doesn't matter. They gonna all know that the answer is no. We the ones in our culture that's divided. White people not divided. So when it came down to my son, when I called the lawyer and said, this happened, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I ain't come with the territory. No, you can do about that. We not fighting for no rights of no nigga down here. We not finna spend our money on that. So I'm left with the emotional scar of that. Wounds can heal. They lynch you, your back will heal. You might have them scars for the rest of your life. That man can die that hit you, and then you might say, well, he got what he deserved. But my son still never got justice. And then if you say something about it, that's when the emotional scars are opened again. Because if you say something about it, they don't care. They don't care. The world is not real in terms of these people in these positions are not fighting for no niggas. We don't have time for that. We fight for what we want to fight for: border, healthcare, gun control. tax cuts. But it's, if you listen to the campaigns, ain't nobody up there saying that we want to give more rights and equality to Negroes. You're not. Who cares about a Negro? Who gives a fuck? So, if I was to say, well, I want to talk about what happened to my son, and I want to talk about what happened to me, and I want to talk about what I saw. They take, it's like what I feel in that regard. Thank you, Lord, for giving me the way to express this in a way that it could be, because I was trying to measure my pain and I was trying to give words to my pain. And for all these years, I couldn't. I couldn't say what I felt like, and I couldn't say what it was because I didn't know what I felt. And what it is I felt that I was hit by the white man, and every time he hit me, he taped my mouth so that I couldn't say ow. So every time I went through these different phases of abuse, I never had a voice to say anything. I just had to take it. It was no voice. It was no life. It was no way out. It was no relief. It just went on and it just went on and it just went on. So when he did what he did to my son, nobody cared. And Augusta don't care nothing about no niggas. Augusta don't care nothing about no black niggas, no boys. Put them coons in prison and let them rot. And let them fight their way out. And if they don't know how to fight their way out, if they don't know how to access the legal system, then they will stay their dumb, retarded black asses in there for the rest of their life. That's what it is. Nobody don't want to say that, but that's what it is. It is that. It is that. Nobody don't want to say that it's not, because nobody don't want to tell the truth. But it is that. It is that. They don't care. Because if they cared, they would do what I said. And they would put an app in prison and give those boys cell phones so that they can learn and be up to date when they get out. Or they could give them tablets with phones on it that only can go to the numbers that they do. And then they can put the law library on there so that when you're sentenced to these egregious amount of years given by these white racist judges, that these prosecutors know who to put under who. So when they go and get these long lengths of time, they know they don't know how to fight the federal law. Why do you really think federal law is so complicated? Because it is still set up around slavery so that if you are deprived of this education, you gonna sit your dumb retarded ass in prison for the rest of your life. And we would prefer it that way because we don't want these coons walking around in the street anyway. We're halfway scared of these niggers and we think that they gonna do the most anyway. So put their dumb black asses in prison and let them fuck each other and get AIDS and die. That's what they really want to say, but they're not going to say that. But that's what they really want to say. Ain't no white commissioner gonna get up in no seat in Georgia fighting for no nigger. If you do, you won't be there in that seat tomorrow. They not voting for you to get up there spending them rich old white people's money on no such a shit. That's not what you gonna do. We're not even gonna come to no rallies about that. We're not gonna talk about that. We're not gonna talk about that in no meetings, no bulletins. We're not doing any of that. That's why you see black people's schools are still what? Underfunded. That's why you still see black people in their schools with no resources. Cause they don't care. The dumber you are, the more successful, the more your chances are increased of going to prison for the rest of your life. So the way the white man look at it is, you're going to stay dumb. Because if I can keep you dumb, I can guarantee that you're going to prison. And when you go into prison, I'm going to build a bunch of them. Because all I need is cages, and you're going to put your dumb black ass in there and sit for the rest of your life. And all I have to do is give you a piece of bread every now and again, and you're going to be fine. And I can make all this money off of you and go and tell the people I'm keeping the streets clean. That's their way of handling crime. Put all the black people in prison. Keep them dumb as fuck and put them in prison. And if it wasn't that way, then you tell me why the obvious solution is not in place. The obvious solution is to educate the prisoners so that when they come back out into society, they can know better, to be able to do better, to give them resources. You would think that if the white man really, really, really wanted to keep crime down, a rocket scientist would tell you you got to build the community through education and resources. It don't take Ray Charles to see that. That's not what the plan is. That's not the plan. It was never the plan. Ever the plan. So they take the if he really wanted to do that, they sort of say she's a liar and it is that we do want to help. Okay, well then the obvious solution is to put an app in prison, put CORE in prison, and put a legal side to that, where as soon as you're sentenced, then it will give you all of your chapters and cases that are relevant to your case. And artificial intelligence will show you how to build your case and do your case, and how to type and prevent your pleadings legally, and they will let you pay for that. They got everything else on the store in prison, but nothing to get them boys no education. I'll be waiting on a comment on that one, and I bet you I won't get one. You get a death threat, won't get no good comment on that one, because that's too much of the truth. They got everything else on that store call for these men and these women to get in prison, but no educational product that they actually need. Put an educational product on the store market and make more money using nothing what the government already got. They already got tablets out the yin yang. They give them to you free for food stamps all day long. Take them and give them to the prisons and jail guard them. Get out of this old modern systemic way of this is a jail call from get out of that garbage. Slavery. We charge you $19.95 a month. We charge you $40 a month. We charge you $60 a month. I don't care how much you pay it. The people gonna pay it. They got access. You get the tablet regardless. If you got money, you get this access on it. If you don't, then you don't. But if you got money and your family done paid your $60 that month and your membership paid up, you go on there, whatever your case is, everything is downloaded to you. It's showing you how to do everything. But everybody got to go through CORE. Everybody got to do it. And it's giving them the resources that the government already got. So we not asking you no more to take a course or to do this or do that. You don't have a choice. You got sentenced. You have what they say when you get sentenced. You have been reprimanded or you have been handed over to the Georgia Department of Corrections. Okay, for blase time. Okay, but then you got sentenced to CORE. That's what the new regulation will be. You got sentenced to CORE. We not sentencing you anymore to the Georgia Department of Corrections. You got sentenced to CORE. Okay, what does CORE mean? CORE is going to give you an artificial intelligent database of what your crime calls for based on everything about you and what is systemically fair. So you're not going to have no nigga sitting there no more with no ball joints around their neck with 90 years and a white man just came in there with the same crime and they know he bad as fuck, but because his daddy is a lawyer in the town, he got 2 years. The same, he in the cell with the same nigga with a ball on his neck that got 90 years for the same crime. And they saying that ain't nothing wrong with that. We really working to make everything fair. They are a liar. They are a liar. So my plan is just like this. If you're going to make money off of a black person, then the best way to do that is to do it in a win-win situation where the county and the state still makes money. But we're not allowing somebody to walk out of that prison cell door and point on our thumbs and wait on them to come back when you know that you have not given any resources to that life to help them. Some people, according to psychological research, all people are a product of their environment. Some people can move and leave that environment and change their ways of that life, but all people are not that mentally strong enough to do it, especially according to psychological research, if they have been a victim of trauma and on a first degree level by the time they turn uh, uh, getting the first stage of adolescence, of moral and social development. Let's get your psychology books and bring a psychologist to the table. Let's go head to head with this. Let's have a conversation about what's really going on here. They laugh and they put it on a cartoon, and I laughed about it the other day. They put it on a cartoon, and the lady, the lady, the teacher on Happy Feet asked the mom and dad, what happened to his moral and social development? They ask that every time you go to counseling. They ask what happened between your age of birth to the age of 6, because that's how you get your moral and social makeup. That's how you become who you are. Everybody in this world, you were born with a blank canvas. You had some genetics in you that might cause or this or that, but all of that could be easily wiped out. When you got a child born, you got a blank canvas. You can make them into whatever you want to make them into. And according to psychological research, if you feed them enough and give them enough successful and build their character and build their self-esteem, they will grow up and they will flourish. Well, you got grown men sitting up in prison that they daddies ain't never said we love you. Their mamas ain't never been there. Their kids is scattered. They've been on drugs all their life. So you have to do the same thing. Just because they 40 don't mean that somewhere in there ain't still that little boy that never got hugged and never got loved. That's why he coming out here robbing, because he never got hugged and he never got loved. So where there's a bigger thug, he he needs more love, more care. And so CORE does that. Because while they're sitting in prison, it's addressing that. He's going through, just like I'm sitting here going through my trauma and I'm talking it out. He's doing that same thing in there, but they're putting the resources there with him to build him and encourage him, to give him a self-esteem, so that when he comes back out into the world, when they say, "Hey man, you want this dime bag?" Nah, bro, I'm great. I'm straight on that, bro. I'm good. They got me. I got out and they built my business. They gave me a loan as soon as I got out. See, that's where the SBA need to have a stinking racist asses at that doggone prison. See, if they had me, I would take every man in that doggone prison and flip him. I like to use the term flipping the niggas. I like to use it. Racist people use it all the time. They do it all the time at home. I don't see why I can't. They say it every day. I want to say it too. I would take every black man over there in that prison and I'll ask them, what do you want to do with your life? Here is your electronic artificial intelligent vision board. I want you to do this vision board. You got 90 days to get in touch with yourself. I want you to put as much of yourself into this vision board, and artificial intelligence is going to tell me who you are. And when I find out who you are, I'm going to take that and I'm going to take the resources that my government already got, and I'm going to give them to you, and you're going to turn around and I'm going to lend these resources to you. You're going to pay me back. See, that's how the government makes money. More money. And then what we doing, what we attaching to that? We attaching what people already like. Reality TV. We attaching research. People pay big money for research to know what people think. You got all them niggas over there in prison. You don't want to know what they thinking? And they finna come back out here on your street and you don't want to know what they thinking about? That's dumb. That's very dumb. Because you want to know, even on the level of crime, you want to know how is their minds increasing and advancing in the level of crime. You want to know everything about them because you the one that's in here for murder. You the one that's in here for rape. You the one that's in here for bank robbery. You the one that's in here for armed robbery. What they call it when you snatch somebody up? What they call strong arm robbery. You the one in here for that. So we definitely want to know where your mind at. And yeah, we are paying you to do this. Really, we're not paying you, but really we are. Because we're taking resources and we're giving them to you in here. You're not gonna sit up in here and eat all these honey buns and these noodles and run your blood pressure up and think that when you get your black ass out of this prison, we finna take care of you now with Social Security because you done got gout and you done got your blood pressure up, and you think now that we finna pay for all that? See, that's what the government need to be thinking. See, that's why they need a black person up there to tell them from a black perspective. Because white people, rich people, don't know how to do nothing but spend money. They do not know how to handle adversity. They're not good with that. They know how to spend money. All of their problems come with, okay, let's spend more money. That's how they handle it. That's why you look at white people budget and be like, you did what? Oh, we'll fix this by spending more money. No, that's not what you need to do. You need to have somebody black to show you where your money is already going and to build your money where it is. That's what they need. Black people know how to handle problems and use as less money as possible and still come up with an effective solution. We need to take the prison. You already got enough money going in there. You could take the prison and turn that into a gold mine. You got all of those empty mines up in there doing nothing but thinking about each other's dick all day. Get your gay asses into this laptop and let's figure it out. We don't have time. Won't be in there sucking dick, getting high, smoking cigarettes, eating bonbons, running up your blood pressure. We not turning this into a faggot institution. So then all that is doing is building the economy in a reverse way, so that you have all of these bills on the government, because the government is going to have to take care of them. They not see, that's the opposite side of slavery they not looking at yet. They think it's fun now that we put all these niggas in prison and they run slavery. They're not looking at the back end. These niggas got to come out one day. You put them in there for 40 years, they got to come out one day. They ain't never letting them go up for parole. They got to come out one day. And when they come out looking like the white man that had his hands behind his back that won't look up, where I'm supposed to work, where I'm supposed to eat, where I'm supposed to go, they gonna look like, oh my God, what is this foolishness we done started here? That's where they at. They don't want to say it, but I'm saying it. They don't want to tell you that, but I'm gonna tell you the truth. That's what they saying. Them niggas walk up out of that prison on the 15th and the 30th, and these white people sit there and say, what the fuck? They don't know. They don't know what the world will do to them. But the white man doesn't like to admit defeat. So the solution is to put education in the prison to change the trajectory of what is coming out of the prison. All you have to do is sit there and write what I don't want, and then do the opposite of what you don't want. I don't want niggas coming out of here sick. I don't want them coming out of here getting on my welfare system. I don't want them coming out here doing no more crime. I don't want them really coming out here gay. That's not true, but that is, we just gonna say this is what we gonna change the white man by faith. Okay, and we don't want that. We don't want them to come out here not being fathers to their children and raising healthy families. We don't want that. That's not true either. But again, we're going to keep speaking faith. So in that regards, if you do all of that, what you don't want, now we know all of what we don't want. Now, what does that mean we have to do? That means if I don't want you coming out here broke, I got to make resources for you. If I don't want you coming out here sick, I got to make a healthy diet for you. If I don't want you all coming out here that late, I got to make resources and education available to you. And not to the point that you even have a choice. Because their rights are already taken in a prison setting. So if they can make them do other stuff, guess what else I could do? I can make you have this exercise 3 days a week. You got to go to this gym. You got to go to gym. You got to be in some type of extracurricular activity with exercise. Because what you're not going to do is sit up in here, because I'm changing that store call. You won't be getting them jumbo glazed honey buns up in here all night long and going to get on that phone and rubbing your stomach and farting all night after you done that. We not doing any of that. We not doing none of that. And if I was on the stage in a prison, them niggas would be laughing. Because they know she right. She right. She gave it to us straight gutter. No chaser. Correct. Correct. That when you get up out of here, that's what the SBA need to be headed. That way. That way. We will give you this amount of funding over this amount of time as you complete this. Each phase of your business guarantees you this amount of loan. Okay, when you first come out, we're going to give you $2,500. We give it to you small. You qualify anyway. We're going to give it to you small. You get all of this stuff done, we're going to give you $2,500 in this. This is to do. You can only do this, and we're not going to give it to you in cash. That way they ain't got to worry about, oh, we took that money and went and bought dope over here to go sell. We didn't do none of that because you ain't get it like that. You got the money in any kind of business incentives that can grow your business. We gave you a $2,500 credit line. That way we building your business credit and we helping you succeed. But you won't get no cash check, bro, to go over there and take to the dope man. No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to be that dumb. But we going to give you this. Now, when you complete the next thing that we give you, the next suggestion, then we're going to build your life back up. You get $5,000 in. Your exceeded limit from the SBA may be $75,000, might be $50,000. It just depends. See, this is how you take the prison system and revert it. So that when they come out of that, they coming out of there with hope. Oh man, I went to prison, changed my life, man. I finally got that barbershop I wanted. Every nigga up in there want a barbershop. Every nigga up in there want a studio. Every nigga up in there want a grass company. Every nigga up in there want to on get into real estate. Some of them niggas up in there already done had the stuff. They just got greedy and got into white collar crime. So understanding that research, what took you to crime, till now we got artificial intelligence thinking for you. Even more so that if you come in here and you let us chip you, or we let you let us do artificial intelligence research on you, we'll pay you while you in here. Because that way we ain't got to be worrying about actually what these child molesters and pedophiles, you don't have a choice. They need to change that law automatically. If you mess around with children, you getting chipped. That way we know anytime you thinking about children, anytime you want to go with children, anytime you think about it, your ass is chipped. We're gonna pass that law, and if you screwing with children, your ass is getting chipped. That way we ain't got to worry about you no more. We ain't got to worry about you even getting near a child, a school, because we got your ass chipped. You're out of there. We ain't got to worry about, oh, go online and register for sex. That's outdated. Your ass is chipped. Bottom line, you screwing with a child, you're chipped. Law is passed. Done with it. It's out of there. You do it, it's done. That way we got to worry about that no more. That's done. Now, moving forward, moving around with drugs and stuff. You want to get chipped? Then we ain't got to worry about you running around with these borders. We ain't got to worry about all this other foolishness stuff. If you sign up for it voluntarily, we will pay you to do it. Have to know how to use resources and money to get the things that you want. If you're not going to do no crime anymore, then you don't have nothing to worry about. The chip won't affect you. It would actually help you. But if you going to get out here and think you're going to do whatever you want to do, that's not going to work out. They use the intel anyway. That's the whole point of me having this conversation. They use it anyway. Might as well pass a bill to use it legally. So that when you commit the wrong offenses, your ass is chipped. Period. That part. And we're done with it. Won't be doing that no more. Because if you even think about going to rob that bank, AI is going to be at that bank when you get there. If you even think about going near a school, going to pick up a juvenile, your ass is going to get caught before you walk out your door. Where are you going? The police are already there. This is where America is going. If I was in the seat, I would change the world in 90 days or less, and I guarantee you I would be alive and people would love me. I guarantee you I would be alive, and I wouldn't have no issues with drugs either. Guarantee you that. Because I think that it's not a matter of saying